Hello everybody, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life. Welcome to Quilters Vibe mixed with the sketch of the month for the Secret on Secret Kit Club scrap party. So here is the quilt that we're being inspired by. This was chosen by Sarah. She kind of picked all three of the summer quilts. She was like, here, which ones do you want to use? And we loved all of them, so we put them for June, July, and August. So this one's for August. And I went ahead and used a cut file. Now this one's really fun. It's a stitching cut file from Paper Issues, and I love it. I trimmed it down, so I think it's at like a 10 by 10 maybe. Might be a little bit smaller. But I did cut it down, and then I went ahead and I did tons of mixed media. Now I'm using these Vicky Bouton watercolors, and in the end, I'm really happy with the way it turned out, but I should have, and I even gessoed this, but I should have done my mists and stuff first, sprayed it with water, and then did the Vicky Bouton, because you're going to see little splots of where those little bits of where I splattered them left. It still looks okay. I'm totally fine with it, especially with the way that the layout turned out, but for next time, I'll know not to do that. Now, this is another case where I absolutely drenched this piece of pattern paper or cardstock, and it is cheap cardstock from Walmart, so it's not really meant to be drenched with water. So I simply go ahead and do this fun little technique to make it look like water. This layout is going to be summer themed and about being at the pool, so I wanted all the blue and green colors available that I had. So that's why I've got all of this. Now, I let it dry, and I used even my heat gun to let it dry. And then I'm going to go ahead and do some stitching as well. Now, while I'm in the midst of stitching this, that was a hard thing to do, having it being so wet and flimsy. Plus, I shrunk the cut file down, so it was extremely delicate. I was able to make it work. However, I wanted to use all 6 of the little strings in my embroidery floss. So that probably wasn't the smartest idea either. I probably should have cut it back a little bit, but I wanted it to stick out. And so, yes, this is what it looks like. I'm happy with it, except for the fact that I got to the green, which is the left-hand side there, and I lost my needle. Like, I searched everywhere for it, and it has disappeared. So I'm praying that nobody steps on it. It didn't fall on the ground. No one stepped on it. I did a pretty good look, and I even vacuumed, so I'm sure it'll be okay, but I don't know where it is. I'm sure it's hiding on my desk somewhere. But I couldn't finish the stitching, so I have to work around that. And how I'm going to do that is go ahead and use my photo to cover up the parts that didn't get finished stitching, and then I'll add embellishments on top of that. Now, this being that I was creating this, and then I kind of wanted to combine it with the sketch for the month, because I am helping Christina out, and I actually volunteered to do the sketch every single month for the scrap party. I thought it'd be kind of a fun thing to do, really in my wheelhouse, the fact that I do 30 days of sketches anyway, so I felt like it was a good thing to pick up. And I love how it's a different sketch from someone else every single month. And this month it is done by the fabulous Shannon, and that she's crafty on YouTube. I loved her sketch. It's fun. It's basic, so there's so much you can do to interpret it, and that's the part I really like. So I took the block format of it, and then the idea of a vertical type of design. You'll see I try that, and the strip at the bottom, and that's what I took from her gorgeous sketch. And then the rest of it is just kind of my own thing. So I'm using up the rest of my How to Kill a Kit with Style. I wanted to get one more layout inked out from that. And look, I'm using those rub-ons. So I didn't know that they were going to work. They are so old. And you know what? They work just fine. Actually, they're, other than the fact that as long you can't like go from 2 separate pieces of pattern paper, they don't stick well. But any rub-on is like that. They were totally fine. So yay. I'm going to try to use the rest of them up in September. We'll see how it works, but I got a good chunk there. I used them as a border. I thought that was kind of a neat idea. So I went ahead and did that. I'm also going to bring in way back last August in one of the Secret Not Secret Kid Club, the Creative Cuts Club, there were little straws to be used, and one's green and one's pink. And I felt like I could probably make that bridge the gap between the border that I made and then down at the bottom. So you're going to see me add that as well. That was exciting to get used up because I brought that in my kit. And I also used this little guy on a floaty. Now this makes me so happy because I looked at that sticker and I'm like, how on earth am I ever going to use that sticker? Like it was when I was pretty sure I was going to throw away. So the fact that I got it used up, I am so excited. And I used it because this is the layout about us being at the swimming pool at my mother-in-law's with my boys. Like I'm in it with the one photo of Jackson, but it's about the boys in the pool. So I totally felt like it was fitting. I love that I got that used up. Makes me so happy. And then, of course, just going back and throwing it back to the quilt part. You can tell that the quilt inspiration came from the cut file. Like, that's where I went with that. And then that was it. I didn't think about the quilt for the rest of the layout. It was more, I found the doily type cut file, went with that, and just kind of took that on. So that's where the quilt came from. You can see where I'm bringing in with the sketch. I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, I have to cover up the parts that I couldn't get stitched because I lost my needle and apparently don't have any other ones. I stitch on almost every layout I do, and I only have one needle. So it's a little silly. So I'm using up some more of these little word phrase stickers. Now this also makes me happy because I only had so many left, and I struggle with these type of things, and I extremely struggle with lining them up like that. But I like that, and I'm trying to find a really nice balance here of, because now I have this big heavy sticker over on the right hand side. What am I going to do on the left hand side? And it's not perfect, but I think I got the balance okay enough. I'm happy with it enough, so that's going to work. Now, here I try to add in these umbrellas. And I try, and only the top one's going to stay. I cannot make the rest of them work. I just didn't like the way that it looked, and instead of forcing it, I didn't want to force it. So instead of forcing it, I take them away and just say, it's okay. They don't have to be on there. I don't even think they look like umbrellas. Like they're just kind of fun shaped hexagons, I guess. I don't know. I don't understand this form of trying to add an umbrella in this type of shape. I don't know. I don't like it. It's not my cup of tea, that's for sure. But I tried to make it work. It just didn't. So instead, I'm going to keep the blue one up there, and I add, I think, a little drink to it and a star or something. I add a couple things to it, so there's a nice little bit of layered effect. And that is my kind of hint or nod to the vertical design that Shannon put onto her sketch. And I think it works. I definitely think that you can kind of see it. You get the square, I think, with the square box from the cut file, along with the nice bit of horizontal stripe that I chose. You can see the sketch just like that. And then obviously I didn't use 2 photos. I used 4, and I kind of fanned them. I don't know. I feel like it works. And the photos stick out. My favorite part about this is the photos stick out. And I love that because that's what I wanted. And I like how it goes from Sean to Barrett to just Barrett to me and Jackson to just Jackson. I like how that kind of worked. And I had to place it in that way with the way that the photos were oriented. So it all just worked out just perfectly. I'm going to add that little sandal there so I can do some journaling. And you guys, that does it. So Daisy and Alex have their layouts up for Quilters Vibe when it was supposed to be up last Friday. So check those out. I'll try to leave the links below. I'm not sure if Sarah's joining us this month or not. It was really busy for her, but if she does, I'll leave a link as well. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all soon. Bye.